Today's episode is about the question if it's more difficult to sell high-ticket offers. Hello and welcome to the Successful, Sensitive and Intuitive Entrepreneur podcast. My name is Lydia Sophia Wilmsen and I am an intuitive success mentor for sensitive entrepreneurs. In this podcast, I speak about the challenges sensitive and intuitive entrepreneurs face. I offer you new perspectives and solutions, as well as experiences of other entrepreneurs. Plus, I speak about my personal experience of being a highly sensitive person who has successfully built and scaled 2 businesses. All of that with the goal to make you and your business even more successful in your very unique and authentic way. Have fun and enjoy. I spoke with a previous client of mine and she brought up this question of if, for example, you sell a group program or an event, if it's more difficult to sell it for, let's take the number of 300 euros or 3,000 euros, because she had heard from someone else that, they should basically pick a cheaper ticket price instead of a higher one because more people would buy if it was the cheaper price. And this is how we basically ended up in the conversation about, is it really more difficult to sell high ticket offers or higher ticket offers? I want to lead with my answer and then explain to you why I picked that answer. Is it more difficult to sell high ticket? Yes and no. I'm sorry to disappoint you if you wanted to get like one single answer. No, it really is. Yes and no. It is more difficult, and at the same time, it's not more difficult. What do I mean with that? You have to understand that a price is a price. The energy behind it, behind a price, is the same. Money. It's an exchange. And it's not about the price that people buy something. It really is about the offer. And if you have people who desire that offer so much, they are going to be willing to pay any price for that. So if they want the solution that is in that offer so much, they desire it so much, or they need it so much, or whatever, they are going to pay whatever for it. So it is really not about the price, if they pay it or not. It is, do I want this so much? Because then people get very resourceful. You can easily say, I don't have 300 euros or I don't have 3,000 euros based on how much you want that. Because you can also source 3,000 euros. If you want it so much, you can source 30,000 euros. You can source 300,000 euros. You just will have to be more resourceful. It is possible depending on what is really necessary, like what you really want. Like if someone took your child and made you pay 300,000, you would be utterly resourceful to get this money. You would approach people you normally don't approach to ask for a loan. You would sell whatever you have to sell with so much confidence, with so much desire to sell that because you need that money, that your confidence or your selling skills are through the roof, so to say. Because actually selling is quite easy. And of course, there is a number like what you are willing to pay or not, but it's not necessarily based on what you have. And it might mean that you have to speak to a different target group. Yes, a 3,000 euro offer is for a slightly different target group than for a 300 euro offer. The same with 30,000 or 300,000. But you also have to understand the higher the price goes, the less people are willing, and I'm going to come to this point in a moment, the less people are willing to sell to that group. So perhaps there are less millionaires than people who have 10,000 euros in their bank. And actually there are so many millionaires, but okay, whatever, or billionaires. There are less billionaires than people who have 10K in their bank, sitting there waiting for them to be used. But at the same time, there are less people selling to the billionaires and many more people selling to the 10K in the bank account. So there are not enough millionaires or there are not enough people who can afford my services is utter bullshit, because there are many, and that is basically an unpicked target group. And it just requires a different kind of marketing and a different kind of energy from you and a different kind of, not approach, not even strategy, but a different kind of energy you embody and a different kind of messaging, not even marketing, but messaging, that you reach the people who make that kind of money, who are willing to pay 3K or 30K for an event. And believe me, they exist. Some of my clients go to high-level masterminds where they pay 100K for. Or other people like Tony Robbins seminars and, for higher level entrepreneurs. They cost also like a 6-figure sum. People go to events that cost 30K. That exists. So it is not the question if it's easier or it is the question, but there is a definite no, it is not more difficult to sell to a higher target group. It really comes down to something else. Not that it's more difficult to sell higher ticket. No, because it's an untapped market and it's the same things apply. The same strategy applies and the same almost like routines apply. It's the same. But what it comes down to is you, who you need to be. That is different. In order for you to sell a 10K offer, selling a 10K offer is as easy as selling a 1K offer. Might even be easier. However, who you need to be is different. And that is what people misunderstand. And this is why, for example, for many, it doesn't work. Like, just sell your 10K offer. It's so easy. Just go out there. No. Yes, it would be super easy, but it comes down to you and down to your beliefs and your worthiness, your feeling of worthiness, your confidence if you are able to sell these offers or not. You believe in yourself of being able to sell that. It comes down to these questions. It is as easy or even easier to sell high ticket, but it comes down to you if you can actually do it or not. So, as I said, you can easily fill up a program with people who pay 3K, 3,000 euros, or 300 euros, or 30K. But the question is, who are you being? What do you think the offer is worth? Can you stand in your own confidence and your own power? And can you stay there? Because this is what's needed to sell higher ticket. You have to embody a higher level of confidence, a higher level of power, a higher level of self-belief, a higher level of confidence of the worth of your offer. And it's actually something I do with so many of my clients who already make 6 figures, but who are burned out because they have a high client load. We changed the pricing. This is a big step for them to really shift into a higher price model. Because this will free up their time. They shift into group programs so they can serve more people, and they shift the one-to-one to a higher price because they can't keep going like that. So they need to do something with their pricing. And it is always the same. I know that they are going to sell their offers. They don't believe it in the beginning. And it's always the same. They don't believe it. Then we work on the belief in the offer, in themselves, in the energy they embody, and bam, there it goes. The first sale comes in, they are almost like flabbergasted, and it's like, what? And then another one comes in, another one comes in. The more they embody and hold the power within themselves. They don't even change anything about the offer. The offer is the same. But they can change the pricing depending on their own energy, their own vibration. And this always works like magic. But this needs to happen. If you try to sell something and you don't believe in it and you don't believe in yourself, you will not sell it. But the thing is, so many out there coach you or want to tell you, just start with online courses, just start with low-priced offers and sell many of them and you will make lots of money. This is bullshit. Because if you think about selling high ticket, something for 1,000 euros, how many sales you have to make for 10 euros instead to come to the same amount? You have to sell so much. And if you're already an amazing salesperson and you can already do that, I would still encourage you to go for higher prices because it will be much less work for you. And what you have to do is really shift the belief what you can do and the worthiness. It's really not about the offer. It is really about you. So the question is not, is it more difficult to sell high ticket? The question is, how much can you hold the power in yourself? to believe in the offer and actually sell it. And I do encourage my clients to not start with the highest price. So if you can't believe, if you have never sold anything or you have never sold anything for high ticket, and directly go for high ticket, your belief is not there. Your self-worth is not there. The evidence for you is not there. Perhaps even the experience is not there. So yeah, someone who tells you, you can sell this for 50K. No, that's bullshit. Not because the offer is perhaps not worth it. No, because you are not there. You are not on that level. So no one will pay the money for it, or you won't be feeling in integrity with yourself, and probably then also don't create an offer or don't deliver an offer that matches that number. So basically this idea of I just need to make more sales and sell low ticket very often comes from a place from people who are not willing to work on their self-worth and on their limiting beliefs. Because if you really face people and practice to sell higher ticket to them, that will bring up all your fears and your limiting beliefs about yourself. So it's actually an invitation for personal growth. And you trying to just sell many online courses and never ever talk to people, this is a sure way to sabotage yourself and don't get the growth you're actually looking for. So yeah, my answer to the question, is it more difficult to sell high ticket than low ticket? It's yes and no. Energetically speaking, it is not. It's the same. You might just want to adjust the target group, but the act of selling is the same, the very, very same. It's as easy, if not easier, to go into a higher ticket market. And what makes it more difficult is you and the beliefs you hold and the worth you have for yourself, how worthy you see yourself, and all the limiting beliefs around money, around selling, around is it okay and in integrity to sell high ticket. This comes up with every client, this idea of, if I make many low ticket offers, then more people can afford it. And it's not about affordability. It really is not. Very often for people to get out of their comfort zone and to get moving, they actually need an invitation to go deeper and to become more resourceful. People who struggle with affordability, like I can't afford this, very often have a pattern in their lives where they are victims, where they are powerless, where they are not able to become resourceful, to change the way how they show up to the world so that the world shows up differently to them. So just playing into that very same pattern is not helpful. Of course, it doesn't help if you don't talk to them and tell them what needs to change for them. But just thinking that you are of service to the world through making it aka like almost affordable for everyone doesn't change a thing for the people. You still have to address the underlying pattern there. And then I do have like clients who have like 1 or 2 scholarship options for people. So yes, you can still offer a hand for those in the moment who really don't have the money and are ready to do whatever it takes to make the change in their lives. Like you can have offers for them, but it doesn't come through downpricing your offers. This is not the solution because you will just play into patterns that are already at hand. And this is just one way how I help my clients see or coach them through this idea of like the lower the price is, the more affordable it is for everyone. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's not helpful. Yeah, so that's it. If you want, obviously, my personal advice to you and what you're selling right now and what a next level price point for you could be and why and what needs to change, you know where to find me. You can easily, quickly hop on a call with me and then we talk this through. And I can show you the potential. If it's there, if I don't see it, obviously not. But if it's there, I can show you the potential you're not tapping into, especially if you're working hard, you're fully booked or almost fully booked, and you're going crazy. And you have such a high workload that you don't know like how you can breathe, so to say. And this can change, and pricing very often is part of the change. Okay, so looking forward to hearing from you. And until then, I wish you a beautiful, beautiful week ahead and speak to you next week. Did you like this podcast episode? Then I would be super, super grateful if you gave me a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. Super helpful. And please subscribe to the podcast and share it with people who you know can benefit from it. You can find all links to my social media profiles, my website, and contact form in the show notes. And whenever you're ready to take a next step, and that means you want to live a life of more on all levels, then send me a message with where you want to go and what is keeping you where you are, like what keeps you stuck at the moment. And then I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you for listening, and until the next episode, much love to you, Lydia.